Tentando zerar o jogo parte 2. Vambora. Se quiser olhar, olha. Se não quiser, vai a merda, entendeu? Ó, o áudio tá ruim do pato por causa que ele tá no banheiro, esse gay. Tá cagando. Tá cagando, né? No banheiro. Aposto. Bora, bro. Eu estou entrando no The Game. Neste exato momento. Boa. Bora, bro. Estou aqui no The Game. Nossa, bro. Eu tinha ido... Eu tinha ficado com o falatório, tá ligado? Tinha ido pro falatório, só que eu tive que reiniciar tudo. Então vamos nessa. Vamos ficar aqui no início mesmo. Se dane. Moça, sai da sacada. Você é muito não. Ops, copyright. Diz o que há, que a vida contou.
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What...
Hey,
who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back. But I will tell you she values her privacy. For London is peaceful. Decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself.
Fatinho, se tiver aí, mandar mensagem.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it!
Oh my god.
I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice. But yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Bora! Vapo. Fazer 1 hora de gameplay, tá, rapaziada? Que horas eu comecei a live? Umas 7h40, então umas 8h40 nós termina aqui.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. I'm coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Beleza, bro. Caraca, da hora, velho. Roupão. Roupão brabo. Aceitei a ajuda do Dr. Swansea. Swansea, sei lá o nome dessa merda. Trabalhei no hospital Pembroke. Não tenho escolha. Ele sabe da minha condição, que me tornei um vampiro. Mal posso acreditar. Não sei nada sobre esse estabelecimento médico isolado. Todos aqui terão a minha antiga imagem em mente. Jonathan e Reid. O famoso cirurgião. Como é que é? Onde é que eu tava? Tenho que mentir para todos. Tenho de mentir para todos. Para os pacientes, para a equipe. Este é o meu novo lar. Onde me esconderei em todos os que estão atrás de mim. Onde me esconderei em todos até eu entender melhor o que está acontecendo. Vá. Entre no hospital. Bora entrar no hospital, então. Como é que eu...
It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah, it's my turn!
Holy...
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Tá. A qualidade de sangue indica quanto XP você receberá de um cidadão em particular. Quanto maior a qualidade do sangue, mais XP você ganha. Para beber o sangue de sua presa, primeiro precisa enfeitiçá-la e atraí-la para um lugar afastado de outras pessoas. Seu nível de feitiçaria.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Abraço. Didi, bro, você morreu. Haha.
In the back, you bastard! Didn't have the guts to fart me. Fuck you. I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Te fuder, desgraçado. Eu mato quem eu quiser, filho da... Tá, isso aqui é a visão do...
A life to embrace its most intimate secrets. Such a burden, such a divine sin.
Beleza, bro, a visão do vampiro. Tá. Qual é que puxa a arma? Acho que eu não posso puxar a arma aqui no momento.
I not want to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Tomando. Oh,
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
mulher mais grossa, velho. Dá na cara dela.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Nossa, mano, a minha vontade de matar ela é grande.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Mulher grossa da porra. Matar ela depois. Quando eu puder, velho. Quando eu puder, mano. Tá fudido na minha mão, parceiro. Tá fudido na minha mão. Tá ligado, né, bro?
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Mostre uma pista.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
Sorry,
You
bro.
really seem to admire... Any opinion about the management?
Bora, bro, bora,
I
bro.
don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tá, vamos ver. Eu quero uma pista. Tá. Sangue é saudável. Não, calma.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Olha. Não, só de raiva agora.
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
Não. Meu alvo é aquela enfermeira de merda, velho.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Blundering idiot.
É você, enfermeira, né? É você
What can I
mesmo.
do for you, Doctor?
É você mesmo que eu quero. Eu não posso.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Não posso fixar ela. Gay demais esse jogo. É que eu não posso soltar poder. Ah, é, tá ligado, tô ligado. Moça,
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised. I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem?
Aê,
I
aí
should know
sim,
about?
Cupichá.
It would be inappropriate for me
Bora,
to
bro.
speak ill of a colleague.
Estou investigando o hospital e eu acho que eu vou pegar o sangue dessa mulher aí, ô Pato. Você acha que eu devo? Fala aí pra mim. Eu posso pegar aqui, mano. Sangue dela saudável. Tá, a questão é, eu fui achar um cara lá, eu matei um louco. Não, é enfermeira, Cupicha, olha ali, ó, tá com a cruzinha vermelha, é enfermeira. Tá, voltando, eu achei um doutor lá, ele me levou pra esse hospital e ele me contratou. E aí eu tenho que achar um monte de bagulho aí, tem que pegar a pista. Mas em questão, eu posso pegar sangue de qualquer um, mano. Tá bom, vapo na véia. Pode vir. Eu não consigo enfeitiçar ela. Eu não consigo enfeitiçar ela, que gay! Ah, peraí.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here.
Calma aí,
If
bro.
only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Mano, ela tá me olhando que, tipo,
Nurse
ele vai fazer
Brannigan,
merda,
if you
velho.
do
Olha a cara
something,
dela,
please
ela...
tell me.
Ele tá me olhando como
Anything
se
you
fosse...
say
Ele vai fazer
will
uma
be held
merda,
in
mano, comigo.
No.
Fudeu.
I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Tá, vem, véia. Não consigo chamar a véia.
How are things here?
Acho que tem que falar tudo
good,
com
to
ela.
say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Pera aí, bro.
An invisible enemy.
É que eu não consigo, bro. Eu tô tentando apertar o botão ali pra feitiçar ela, que tem que levar ela pra um canto e sugar o
These
sangue
last few
dela.
weeks have been exhausting.
Aí eu não consegui, entendeu?
We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Mas eu não
Do you
consigo.
think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Então tu vai ter que pedir demissão, por causa que agora eu vou... Eu não com... Ah, tem que ser nível 5. Troll, agora que eu vi.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need
Tem que
assistance.
ser nível mais baixo pra eu conseguir capturar, mano. Deixa eu ver aqui, como é que eu olho. Não, não. Troll, cadê? Clay Rocks. Ah, eu abracei. Quer dizer que eu matei o maluco. Nossa, eu posso matar, mano. Que, que troll. Dr. Corkan Chips. Mano, o problema é que eu não posso matar a enfermeira, velho. Por causa que, tipo, tem uma enfermeira que eu posso matar. Tipo, não, que eu não posso matar. E ela foi mal grossa comigo. Eu tô com uma vontade imensa de matar ela, não tá ligado? Essa miséria aqui. Essa miséria aqui, ó. Essa merda. Quem é você?
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Que isso, quebrou? Quero uma pista, tá. Eu não consigo enfeitiçar. Eu tenho que ser nível 1. Nossa, eu tô só nível 1. Foda.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett. It's locked, all right.
Ei, bro, quem é você?
Good
Ah, é
evening,
você,
Mr.
o maninho que
Hampton.
eu salvei.
How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Rebanho, que rebanho gay. Opa. Haha.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks.
Bro, esse jogo é um pouquinho parado, bro.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important.
Ô Patinho, fala aí pra mim. Você gostaria, na amanhã, ou sei lá, você gostaria de ver uma live de Rainbow Six ou de Need for Speed, mano?
She left the docks many months ago.
Eu faço uma horinha de cada jogo.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross
Fala aí
around
pra
your
mim.
neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Bro.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Esse cara é evangélico, velho. Agora que eu vi.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.